Welcome to day 12. Today we are going to talk about recruiting, which just fits in so nicely after yesterday. So you might be wondering, why did I do team building before I talked about recruiting? And it was exactly for the reason that yesterday's video was so valuable. You need to understand the why we want to have deep and wide teams. So now that you understand the value that comes from having a team, today I'm going to teach you how to recruit. So first and foremost, I think one of the biggest reasons that people are not recruiting is because they don't feel prepared. So yesterday I reminded you the 3 reasons why people join: fun, friends, or funds. And so now that you have that knowledge in your noggin, you can go forward and you can start seeing why really Scentsy could be for just about anybody. Now, I am not somebody who recruits every single person. It's just not something that is interesting to me. I don't like to have too many people because I personally find that overwhelming. We have had a group up to 6,000 before, which is a big number. I'm very comfortable with where we're at right now with just over 2,000 people in the group. 3,000 is great. When you get up to 6,000, it gets a little bit overwhelming as a leader. But again, I try to teach my team and then they teach their team. So that's the only way that it really works out. So one of the main things to know is that you do need to be prepared. You don't have to have any specific experience with recruiting. If you have never recruited anyone before, that's totally fine. But you do have to know that you have to speak to, on average, 10 people before you get one person who is going to actually join. So maybe you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, I've asked everybody, and I really want to challenge that story that you're telling yourself. More than likely, you have asked everyone you feel comfortable asking. So I really want to encourage you, if you maybe have asked 8 people, you may have asked 9 people, you may have even asked 10 people, and the next person you ask is the one who's actually going to sign up. So let's talk about being prepared. First and foremost, you love the product, you love the company, you're wanting to grow your business, otherwise you would not be watching this video right now. So you really do have the foundation of what you need. You have to love the product, you have to love the company, and you have to be willing to learn. You've got everything you need to know. So as far as being prepared, the best thing that I can offer to you today is for you to actually have some join packages made up. Now, I talked about this in a previous video, and tomorrow's video, we are going to be talking about expenses. Interestingly enough, I'm going to talk about expenses before I talk about income, which is a little backward, but you'll understand it if you follow with me. I do my own little packages. I try to keep my business expenses low where I can. There's other areas that I spend money, but packages is one of those lower areas. You can use a staple to put everything together. You can use a cellophane bag. You can splurge and you can buy those the packages, the folders that you can get in the Scentsy family store. But I just find that this is a very simple, effective, and inexpensive way for me to stay organized with my join packs. So I've showed you before, I go to the dollar store and I buy 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. So it's a little bit thicker than traditional paper, which is really handy because we want it to be able to hold things more like a folder. So I'm just going to show you again. I'm going to fold this directly in half. I'm just going to lean on my desk. I'm not doing anything down here, but just trying to line it up. So I'm going to fold that in half. Okay, so there's my piece of paper folded. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a catalog or a brochure and I'm going to see where does that fit. And then I'm going to fold that up. So 1 second. Again, I'm not doing anything down here except folding, but it's just awkward. Okay, so now I've folded it right up and then you can see it can go easily like that. So boom, I have a folder. I believe that this comes 24 sheets to a pack. So actually, let me pull it up so that to be sure. So this is from a Canadian dollar store. $4 Canadian for 24 sheets. Now that was a different cover. I've done these for a while. There's the cover for this one. Okay, so this is what, now don't get caught up on copying what I'm doing. This matches my branding, so it made the most sense. This also can match my branding because I do use pink quite often. But again, 24 folders you can make for $4 Canadian. So that's what I choose to do, because I'm always looking for ways to either make more money or save more money. So this is one of my savings. Okay, so there you go. Very simple. You have your folder. Okay, so what's going to go in it? I have one made here so I can show you. This is one that I have ready to go. I am uploading, I have uploaded all of the contents into the printables in the description of this video below. So you can access all of my printables. You can see what I do. You can create your own. You can use what I've posted. I am sharing is caring. So that's what it's all about. So this is a little new catalog request form. This is what I take when I do events that I have on my table, and I don't hand out catalogs ever. They're about 48 cents Canadian, somewhere around there. I do not hand out catalogs. I find that if people take a catalog, I never hear from them again, and I have no way of following up with them. If they want a catalog, they can fill out one of these forms that has their address and all their contact information. Then I will mail them a catalog. And then I have their contact information to follow up with them. Did you get my catalog? Is there anything I can help you with? I have an order going in on Friday at 7 o'clock. So then down below, you can see here, I have 3 questions, and I do not have these as yes, no, or maybes. Of course, I want to have on a scale of 1 to 10, not at all interested, or send me info. So my questions on here are: 1, how interested are you in making money doing Scentsy with us? I say us because typically when we're doing events, it's a family affair. All 3 of us are there and we're doing it. Second one, how interested are you in earning free and 50% off items doing a Facebook party? So this one, of course, was during COVID, only doing Facebook parties, even though in-home parties is what's going to make you the most money the quickest. And 3, how interested are you in monthly deliveries to your door for 10% off? So obviously that is regarding Scentsy Club. So based on how they rate their responses, when I send their catalog, I will send them appropriate information accordingly. Okay. Now I have this on the outside of my folder because if I'm talking to them about doing Scentsy with me, I'm not just giving them the information. I need to gather information. I think that this is one of the number 1 reasons why you might be giving out information and nobody's signing up, because you're not doing any follow-up, and that's your job. Your job is to follow up and see what questions do they have about the package. Okay, but they are unlikely to follow up with you. It's your job to follow up with them. So I have that with a little paper clip. And so I keep this and they get this. Okay. So inside this folder, this is one I had previously created. I did use a little bit of washi tape on the edges just to have it sealed, but you do not have to. Like I said, don't use the excuse for not building these because you don't have cute folders. Don't use the excuse because you're waiting for your Scentsy order to come in with the Scentsy folders. No excuses. This group is designed for you to actually take action on the day that I do the video. So your homework today is going to be to build 10 of these join packages. Okay, you have to build 10 join packages. So however that is, if it's a staple, if it's a paper clip, if it's a little folder from the dollar store, you need to get 10 done today. Okay, so inside, this is what I have. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I do not invest in business cards. Business cards go in the trash, so I personally don't use them. The only way that I would recommend that you use them, and it's your choice, again, we talked about this a number of times, your business, you do it your way. Whatever you want to do, you do you, okay? If you love business cards, you get business cards. I find that mine end up in the garbage unless they have on the back a punch card for people to get free bars. So when you can check them off and for every 5 bars, they get one free or something like that. Otherwise, I personally don't find that they're very effective. More effective for us is when we do magnets, because then people will have them on their fridge and we'll be center of mind that way. But when I'm doing events in general, or like when I'm out in public and people ask me for my contact information, I have a QR code. I use them for everything. It's generated for free. You can Google free QR code and you can input your website and it will give you a free QR code. So if I wanted to, I could put this here instead of this. This one I like just because it has like our branding on it and it shows a picture of us as a family. So to me, that's very important. So I have that, but I could have the QR code or whatever. Okay, so inside of here, on this side, I have a join information package now, or a brochure. This was created on Vistaprint when they had a sale on. I only get stuff on sale. And so that's when I had ordered this. It was quite a while ago. And then it has like all the join information on the inside and host information on that side, and then where we are around the world on this side. Do not buy these if you don't have a budget for them. We're going to talk about expenses tomorrow. Don't buy those if you don't have the budget for them. You can print off your own thing that has the information in it, which I put in the printables, or you can get these from the Scentsy family store. I believe this is actually updated. This was, I think this was fall, winter, but either way, has the same information that you need. This is from the Scentsy family store, has host information as well as join information. Okay. Again, do not put off building these today thinking that you need this. You do not. I have included everything you need in the printables section below. Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm going to put that in my second little folder here, the one I'm creating with you alongside you. So on the front, I have a sticky note because you obviously are not going to have a new catalog request form with you today. So instead, you're going to use a sticky note and you're going to take their contact information before you give that out. Okay. So then on the inside, I had my little folder or this one or the printable. Okay. I also have included a catalog. Now, if your budget is a showcase brochure, that's fine. You are not going to lose somebody as a team member if you don't give them a catalog. Okay, so use a product brochure or a whatever that thing's called. Now I've lost track of it. Or sorry, a showcase brochure, or if your budget allows, use a tear-off sheet. It does not matter, okay? You just want to make sure that they can see the product that we have available. This you can very easily fold up, looks cute. Make sure you put your contact information on there, and that can go in, okay? So this is not, you do not have to be spending a lot of money to get people information that they need to know to become a consultant. The last thing I do, and this is, you know, a personal business decision, I always include a order form. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that I highlight the information I need them to fill out. Okay, and the rest I can fill out, but I have it here, so it's very easy. And it also is a little way for them to see, oh, well, what would I have to do? Oh, I just have to highlight some order forms when I'm telling my friends. That's awesome. That's easy. I can do that. So I just try to be as like duplicatable as possible. So in that goes, okay. On the other side, so that was, let me just show you again. That was this side, okay? And then this side here, I always want to include something that is scented. Now, whether that means that you can afford a sample, okay? That's fine. Do not break the bank on this. I can afford to do a scent circle, so I put in a scent circle. If you can afford to do this, that's awesome because they will copy what you do, right? So I just put that in. I have this little unlock opportunity flyer. Again, this is all in the printables, so you don't have to be reading all this right now. I have top 10 reasons to join Scentsy. Now, one thing I want to mention, this is an old logo. Old logos are no longer allowed. So in this instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of my stickers, okay? And I'm just gonna put it right over top. There we go, okay? So that can go in, so top 10 reasons to join Scentsy. Then I have a thing that I printed actually off of my website from a number of years ago, but it's frequently asked questions, because obviously you are handing somebody information rather than saying, oh, you can just go to my website to join, which is what I do when I'm out and about. If somebody asks me something, they use my QR code. It takes them to my link tree, all free. QR code is free, link tree is free. And they can click right on do Scentsy with me, and they can see all the FAQs there. But because I'm handing them this information, I'm wanting to answer the most pressing questions. The first one being, I'm not really a salesperson. Could I still be good at this? Okay, so all the FAQs, again, it's in the printables document below. So you don't have to think, I don't have this information. You do have this information, you just have to print it off. Okay, the last thing I have in there is a little bit of information about me and my family and our Scentsy journey. Okay, so you can see my branding matches the sticker that I had on the outside, tells them a little bit about us, because I don't want them just getting information about doing Scentsy. I want them doing Scentsy with me, right? So I have a little bit of information on there about us. Again, it's in the printables. It's for you guys to see. I'm not hoarding information. I'm sharing with you everything that I have, so that you can literally replicate what I do according to what fits you best. If you are like, well, I don't really want to do that, don't do it. If you don't want to do a scent circle, don't. Use a little sample. Like, you do what works best for you, for your business, and for your budget. Okay, so your homework again is to make 10 of those packages, and you have them ready to go. Because what you need to do is you need to start talking to people about doing Scentsy with you. So yesterday I talked about, you don't want to use the word recruit. You don't want to use the word join. Both of those things make it about you. And it's really, really important for you to understand that if somebody thinks they're doing something for you, they're not invested. They need to be doing this for themselves. So that's why when I'm having conversations with people, I'm like, hey, how much money would you like to be earning on extra? Or what, if you had an extra $50 a month for your groceries, would that help your family? Or $50 a week, or whatever it is, whatever that is, you can kind of make them start thinking about, actually an extra $50 a week would be a big boost for our family, right? So the other thing to do when you're following up with people, because we are passionate about our jobs, and I am the guiltiest of the guilty for doing this. When I'm talking to somebody about doing Scentsy, I get verbal diarrhea. I could talk about Scentsy all day long, as you can tell, because I've been doing this like already for 12 days. I can talk about Scentsy till the cows come home. So what I have to do when I give somebody a brochure, like a join pack, and I will say to them, I'm going to give you a call this evening around 7 o'clock, and I'm going to see if you have any questions. So I'm putting the onus on me. I have to call them by 7 o'clock. Okay. They are expecting me to call. So it would be very poor customer service if I did not call. I've set the expectation. I'm going to call them. And what I'm going to say is, what one reason do you have that you haven't signed up already? So rather than me rambling on about all the amazing things about Scentsy, because of course they're going to expect me to do that, I ask them, what is the one thing that's holding you back? More often than not, if you get really right down to it, it's a fear of failure. So they might say something like, I don't really have the money right now. And hopefully you know the correct response. If somebody says, I don't have the money right now, guess what? We have host exclusive kits that they can earn for free. Okay, so that would be your response if they said that. If they said, I don't really know anyone, you're like, you know what? Shoot me a friend request on Facebook. And then when you look on their Facebook, you're gonna be like, well, actually your Facebook page says you have 739 friends. I'm sure like you could get 6 of them to host little practice parties with you so that you can see if you like it or not. I will often say, if you just try it out for 1 month and then decide, that's really a good way to decide if it's right for you and your family. So if they just try it for 1 month, if they hate it, no problem. They go back to being an amazing host or customer. If they love it, it could literally change their life. So I often will say, well, you know what? You really aren't going to know if you're good at this unless you try it out. So why don't you try it for 1 month? I'll be helping you along the way. And then you can decide after a month, and like, no harm, no foul. If you're not interested, that's okay. But you really won't know unless you try it. So they usually will say they don't have the money, or they can't, they don't have any friends, or they don't know anyone. So quickly dispel those and just say, hey, you know what, why don't we just plan a little party? You want to invite 6 to 8 of your friends over. I will do the party and you can watch and see how it goes. And if you decide that you do want to try it, we'll make that your launch party. And if you decide not to, that's okay. You're an awesome host anyways. Okay, so it's really very simple. Another way you can get people is to ask for referrals. I do want to mention you are not allowed to offer any kind of incentive for someone to join. So if you think about this, I'm a superstar director. If I wanted somebody to join my team and I could incentivize them, I could say, I'll buy your kit for you, right? I could afford to do that. Am I going to do that? Absolutely not. It's out of compliance, and it does not create a level playing field for every single person. I want somebody who joins today to have the same opportunity as I have, even though I've been doing this for almost 12 years. If I have somebody joining my team today and they talk to somebody about coming on board, they have to do that above board. You have to make sure that you are in compliance, and that person has as much opportunity as I do, even though I've been doing this for a long time. And I could afford, I never would. You are not allowed to incentivize somebody to join your team. Okay. However, you can offer a referral incentive to somebody who refers somebody who joins. So if if I have somebody who places an order, I'm like, thank you so much for your order. Would you like to reach out to 2 friends who might want to get in on that order with you? And she's like, yes, absolutely. She gets back to me and I'm like, hey, listen, you've actually just earned a $39 starter kit, like depending on what her sales were, I'm just throwing a number out there. Are you interested in doing Scentsy with me? And if she's like, no, I'm not really interested, I'm like, hey, no problem. If you refer someone who joins my team by the end of this month, you could say, or you could say whatever you want, as long as it's one-on-one, in person, like one-to-one, like not in a group or anything. You could say, you know what, if you refer someone who joins my team in July, I will reward you with a scent circle of your choice. We are allowed to do that because you're rewarding for the referral, not the person who joins. Does that make sense? If you have questions about that, please comment below. But yeah, so that's an easy way to get some new blood, like new people, is to ask people for referrals, because the person referring you already loves Scentsy and loves you because they're ordering from you. So it's an easy segue to say, hey, do you know any teachers that are off for the summer that might be interested in like learning how to do Scentsy before it comes time for the fall? Or do you know anyone who, could use a little extra income in doing flexible work? Like I said, Scentsy hours are flexible. They're not optional, but they are flexible. So it's a great time to learn how to do the business, because honestly, you guys know, if you've been around for at least a year, fall, winter is a very, very busy season for us. Like August, September, October, bananas, right? So if we can get people to sign up now and learn the business now in the summer months where they can take their time, then come fall, they're already off and running. Okay. So really important. And you did hear me say about practice parties. I do recommend that everybody do 6 practice parties in their first month whenever possible, because it will get them, usually it will earn them shooting star, and they will hit their first promotion. They'll go from essential to certified in their first month. And so when they're earning a minimum of $250 in their first month doing Scentsy, they're more likely to stay long-term. And like I said yesterday, I always recommend that they get their best friend to join the business with them. So they have their first team member, they're hitting minimum of certified. If they get their first team member who is active and gets their practice parties in, she or he is more than likely hitting lead consultant in their first 30 days. And that's why I do it. That's why I'm very strategic. That's what I'm teaching you right now, is how do I do things that are not just bare minimums. I really, really do try to teach people to be better than average, because if my team can be better than average, then we are going to be the ones who are leaders. We're going to be the ones who are showing up on, if people go to Scentsy.com and they put in, their postal code, it's me and my team that is going to be coming up, because we're all typically being paid as a lead consultant or higher. And so Scentsy.com, they are referring those people to me and my team. Anyways, your homework to make 10 of those bundles. Print everything you need. Do not make any excuses. Make sure you get it done, and start making a list of who you would love to have doing Scentsy with you, and reach out to them and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing Scentsy with me? And let them respond. See what they say. If you have questions, comments, if you have like, what did they say? And you're like, I don't know how to reply to this, drop it below so that we can all learn together, and I'll give you some suggestions on what you can reply back to them with. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow as we're going to be talking about expenses.